students, hope you are all well. Today I am going to discuss about the structure of nucleus, and I gave this caption, the nucleus, the dawn of a cell. Why it is called dawn of a cell, that I am going to discuss later. Before that, I am going to tell you that cell, which portion I discussed in my last video. Cell is a structural and functional unit of life. All living organisms' body are made up of cells. Cells are having two parts. One is cell covering, means covering outside. There are two portions, maybe cell membrane and cell wall. And inside the cell, there is a portion called protoplasm. This protoplasm is having two parts. One is liquid part, another is round shaped portion. This is called nucleus, this one, and rest portion of protoplasm is called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is having two types of substance. One is cell organelles, another is cytoplasmic inclusion. This cytoplasmic inclusion is non-living and cell organelles are living. We know the example of cytoplasmic inclusions are starch, glycogen, and different types of protein, lipid. These are cytoplasmic inclusion, as these are non-living. But cell organelles are living. There are many cell organelles present in the cell or cytoplasm, and these cell organelles are classified depending on the basis of number of membrane it possesses. Number of membrane it possesses. There are two cell organelles which are having two membranes which are present in the cytoplasm. One is mitochondria, another is plastid. So mitochondria and plastid are the example of two membrane cell organelles, mitochondria and plastid. Okay, next, one membrane, only one membrane is present. You can give example of lysosome, endoplasmic reticulum. So these are the example of one membrane. One, ER means endoplasmic reticulum, and lysosome, okay. And no membrane, there are no membrane means without membrane. So example is ribosome, centrosome. So these are the example of cell organelles which are having no membrane. Very important portion, two membrane structure are mitochondria, plastid. One membrane structure is endoplasmic reticulum and lysosome, and no membrane structure is, that is ribosome and centrosome. Now comes to the portion nucleus. We know that nucleus is the main part of the cell. This nucleus, which was discovered by Robert Brown, in the year 1831. In 1831, nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. This nucleus is the main part of the cell, as I told you, and generally one cell contains one nucleus. One cell contains one nucleus, but sometimes one animal cell contains many nucleus. Okay, sometimes plant cells is having many nucleus. So when animal cell is having many nucleus, it is called syncytium. It is called syncytium. And when a plant cell is having many nucleus, it is called cynocyte. Okay, so it is very important. Syncytium is the term where animal cell contain many nuclei. It is called syncytium. Plant cell containing many nuclei is called cynocyte. Example, you know, in case of animal, it is the muscle cell, and in case of plant, it is eukarya, rhizopas. These are the example of cynocyte. Now, nucleus is having four parts. This nucleus is having four parts. One is nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, nuclear reticulum or chromatin fiber, and nucleolus. This nucleus is having four parts: nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, nuclear reticulum or chromatin fiber, and nucleolus. Now I am coming one by one the structure of every part of this portion. Now first I am going to start. First one is nuclear membrane. You know, this nuclear membrane is present surrounding this. So if I show you one model, so we can get this type of structure is a nucleus. It is having some pores are given. You can see over there nucleopore. If we take it out, it is the membrane. It is having two membrane. And if we see inside, we can see these are the chromatin fiber filamentous structures. And this is nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm, liquid part, semi-solid liquid part, transparent. And this round shaped portion, that is nucleolus. So in nucleus we are getting four parts. This is nuclear membrane, chromatin fiber, nucleoplasm and nucleolus. So I am going to discuss every parts of this nucleus one by one. Now you see that outer membrane, nuclear membrane, it is having two walls. Okay, outer membrane and inner membrane. Outer membrane and inner membrane. This nuclear membrane is having two membranes. One is outer membrane called ectokaryotheca. Ectokaryotheca. And inner membrane called endokaryotheca. And inside this, in between ectokaryotheca and endokaryotheca, means outer membrane and inner membrane, there is a perinuclear space. Perinuclear space. So perinuclear space, it contains a fluid. This is the structure of nuclear membrane. And here some pores are found, some pores called nucleopore. So these are the four parts of nuclear membrane. Outer membrane called ectokaryotheca, inner membrane called endokaryotheca, and in between this endokaryotheca and ectokaryotheca there is a space called perinuclear space, and there are some pores called nucleopore. Through these pores it connects between this nucleus and cytoplasm. All exchange takes place through nucleopore. These are all about nuclear membrane. And inside this there is a liquid part, liquid semi-solid part, very transparent. These are transparent part, okay, that is called nucleoplasm. In this nucleoplasm, this nuclear reticulum and nucleus are present. So these are all about nucleoplasm. Now nuclear reticulum. Here we can find that there are thread-like structures made up of DNA and protein. Thread-like structures like this. Thread-like structure called chromatin. Chromatin fiber. This is made up of DNA and protein. These collectively form chromatin. And this chromatin fiber at the time of cell division coil and form chromosome. This chromosome contains genes. Here generally chromosome or chromatin fiber contain a round shaped portion. Generally one, but in some cell more than one, 2 to 4 round shaped portions are present. These are called nucleolus. This is called nucleolus. This nucleolus is a very important portion of this nucleus. Nucleolus is having four parts: perinucleolar chromatin, pars amorpha, pars fibrosa and pars granulosa. This nucleolus is having no membrane. Their perinuclear chromatin is like this structures. Okay, and inside some liquid part is present called pars amorpha. This is the perinuclear chromatin, and inside there are some fibrous part, some filamentous. There are some filamentous part, and there are some granular part. And some filamentous part. So this is the filamentous part, and these are the granular part. This fibrous part, this filamentous part is called pars fibrosa, and this granulosa is like this. So these are the part of nucleolus. One is perinuclear chromatin, outside portion. Inside there is a liquid part, matrix called pars amorpha. There are thread-like structure called pars fibrosa, and inside granular parts is called pars granulosa. This, it is having no membrane, is the main site of ribosome formation, and it stored protein, and at the time of cell division it forms the spindle fiber. This is the main function of nucleolus. Now I am coming to the function of nucleus. Number one function. Number one, it controls metabolism. This is the first and foremost, this is the most important function of nucleus. Number two, it helps to prepare protein. So protein formation. This is the next part. Number three, it produces ribosome. This is another function. And last one is it carries the hereditary character. It carries and transfers hereditary character. Hereditary character. So these are the main functions of nucleus. Number one, control metabolism. Number two, protein synthesis or protein formation. And number three is ribosome formation, and it carries hereditary character and transfers hereditary character from one generation to another generation. These are the main function of nucleus. Now I am coming to that point why I have written nucleus, a dawn of a cell. If anyone asks you what is nucleus and you tell it is a dawn of a cell, you will get big zero. I have used this word so that you can remember this one, because it controls all activity of the cell. Now I am coming to that point how this nucleus controls all activity of the cell. This nucleus is having DNA. This DNA produces one mRNA. mRNA means messenger RNA, which takes the message from the nucleus to the cytoplasm like this. And here this mRNA unites with ribosome and rRNA. Here tRNA is another type of RNA which is helping, ribosome is helping, rRNA is helping, mRNA is helping to produce protein. To produce protein is formed by the instruction of DNA, which instruction this DNA is sending through mRNA. mRNA comes to the cytoplasm, and with the help of ribosome, rRNA, mRNA, tRNA produces protein. We know protein is the component of enzyme, and this enzyme controls all chemical reaction of the body. So all chemical reaction of the body is controlled by enzyme, and the structure of enzyme controlled by the protein, and protein is formed by the instruction of DNA. That's why, and DNA is present in the nucleus. That's why this nucleus is called dawn of a cell, and we know this chemical reaction collectively called metabolism. And if metabolism is there, we are surviving. If chemical reactions are taking place in our body, then we survive, otherwise we cannot survive. So this metabolism or chemical reaction ultimately controlled by the nucleus. That's why it is called dawn of a cell. Actually it is not dawn of a cell, actually it is a head of a cell. Nucleus is a head of a cell. If you like this video, please share with your friends and subscribe my channel, and I'll bring for you different types of educational video. Thank you very much.